Hello, 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 AJ Colonel's class of 92 through 97. Woo, woo. Thanks for being here and for listening to this recording as we start the 8-month adventure, if that's when we choose to have this reunion in April or May. If not, we're open to discussion about that. Whomever isn't here and whomever isn't on Facebook, I highly encourage you to pass this recording around and share my personal contact information with your classmates so that we can get them on an email list if they're not participating in Facebook. And I'm picturing some sort of monthly update as an email newsletter so we can get the broadest spectrum of people to be kept well informed of all of our happenings, so that if any input needs to come from you, your creativity, or maybe you know someone locally that we can help support through the events that we're planning. I love that idea, supporting local. We want to know. We want to know all of your ideas. And one of the things that I would love to have is a steering committee made up of at least one representative of each class from 92 to 97. So if you or someone you know that would love to be of service in this way, I would love their contact information. All right, I'm going to share the screen and just show you. Let's see, let me prepare it first. Show you some of the ideas that have sprung up for me over the course of considering our reunion. As most of you may know, we're also celebrating 20 years honoring Katrina and the aftermath. And we're also celebrating as a country our 250 years together. So that's something to consider. I propose that it is during a time when those who have moved out of state would like to travel there either with their families or partners during another event. And one of my favorite events is Jazz Fest. So I am totally open to hearing your ideas about what other times. And as you know, we've organized this to be a span of 5 years, celebrating 95's 30th. Yet I thought it most appropriate because we hung out, most of us hung out with people not in our classes, and to make it more available to a span of 5 years. And I thought it might be cool that one of our events over this multi-event time together, maybe a 4 or 5 day period, that we invite our teachers to. And as if some of you are on Facebook, you probably know Miss Broom is one of our beautiful teachers that we're bringing into our fold. And there's some people that I've listed here, and I'm completely open. Maybe you want to drop them in the comments of teachers that you remember that you would like to invite to one of our events if we all choose that that is the direction that we want to go. Some of the events that I've considered, here you can see maybe a talent show. Chassie Nielsen thought of a memorial for students and teachers who have transitioned from this planet. A display of businesses. If any of our 92 through 97 peers have any businesses that they would like to, have others support them. I love supporting local or international. yet all AJ initiated. Maybe a silent auction as a fundraiser for an organization that we choose. Karaoke. Sunshine suggested a steamboat cruise or any of the tours that we may want to take. I considered some group classes, a seafood boil, maybe at one of the parties, a display of yearbooks. We have some local, Eric Pirelli apparently owns Pirelli's Bakery, and it's my friend Ryan Isaac who has his own seafood boil set up, which I think would be easy to just port in whatever venue that we had. There's this thing called Story Portal. I was thinking that there could be, and I put naughty and nice here. Maybe the non-teacher event, we can have naughtier stories. Just people getting up with a mic and telling awesome stories about our past for memories. And like I said, supporting local. If we know of any bands or entertainment that came from the 92 through 97 classes, that would be awesome. I thought of Misty Marshall. And some of the events, I love day brunches. And of course, the everybody loves a dinner dance party. And then I considered, lastly on this, venues that I'm starting to research. All right, so the floor is open to your commentary.
I have an initial comment.
Okay.
You had mentioned 4 to 5 days in length for this, and I'm not sure that's something that people can feasibly like take off that much work. So I think more like a Friday through Sunday is probably more feasible for people, especially traveling from out of town. So maybe we limit it to 3 days, because if you make it too long, people might just be like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not going.
And my thought, I am writing that down. And my thought was, what if someone could just come in for one day and we would have something on that day? And so that's what I was thinking. If we had it around some other major event, who else has commentary?
Like a big picnic or something, and have spacewalk for our kids and other events during it, like that we can all participate in.
Yeah, I'll just write family friendly and multi activity.
Somebody from one of the classes has to own a bounce house business.
Bounce house.
Right?
I sold my business.
Damn. Maybe can you still get a discount then?
I may be able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna write you down as the
Maybe I may be able to.
Awesome.
But yeah, combine that with the crawfish boil, the family friendly crawfish boil.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Maze knows somebody too, so I could check on that too.
The bouncy house.
Yeah.
Bounce house contacts. All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we did it around Jazz Fest time, now granted, I haven't been to Jazz Fest in a couple of years. I love Jazz Fest. I haven't been in a couple of years. My first initial thought is to like check the schedules to see the days that you wouldn't want to have something, to like kind of, if we're gonna do it around that time, don't shoot yourself in the foot by making it at a time or a day where it's like most popular, although it's most popular, and then some people.
Yeah, Miss Allison, you broke up there just a little bit, but I hear you, and I wrote that down. And one of my thoughts on that note, if we wanted to turn Jazz Fest into one of the events, we get one of those polls and create the Colonel flag, something.
Yeah.
So we
And
know
all
what
go to Jazz Fest together. Is that what you're saying?
our
Yep.
group is. Yeah,
That'd be fun.
totally. And we all can, I don't know, dress in coordinate colors.
Make shirts.
Make sure.
Yeah, make t-shirts. Yeah, that was a suggestion. T-shirts and hats.
Sunshine's connection with the Steamboat Company and Gray Line Tours has already considered, or they've already offered us a 10% discount. And one of the ideas, if we could pair it with another tour, like I've never been on a plantation tour, and pair it with a steamboat dinner, which I have had their dinners. It wasn't too impressive, but and then there's other options, like you don't have to eat on the boats. You could just have your own private bar and deck.
I like the idea of doing it in the spring when it's not so hot in New Orleans.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But we also have to think about people with kids and like school year and when their vacations are. Like it might be interesting to plan it around spring break, even though it wouldn't be spring break for the kids so much. It'd be spring break for the parents. But it'd be when the kids are off school.
Well, that's interesting. And parents, you can chime in on this. It's unfortunate that the country itself doesn't have coordinating spring break schedule.
That'd be hard to coordinate because everyone has different dates.
Well, you as having children, Kimberly, from California, what is your opinion about travel in the spring?
That I would leave the family here and come by myself. Husband, high five, you got this, right? Okay,
take your vacation.
If it doesn't fall in line with their spring break, which I mean, theirs is usually around the Easter time frame. So, and I think Jazz Fest is afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting consideration. I'll definitely put it in our notes.
Yeah, people might want to just take this as an opportunity to take a vacation from their family.
That would be me.
Yeah.
My son's 22 now, so I don't have any young ones.
I know my youngest is 20.
Then it's good timing. Well, even though I like the idea of Jazz Fest, what other French Quarter Festival, Mardi Gras?
So other than the spring, the fall would be nice. If we were trying to choose a time of year.
I would have to say, I would think that fall tends to, like, fall is the startup of all this chaotic energy and routine.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's all of that, starting up, and it's hard to include something like this in when the spring tends to be like the winding down of stuff, even though it's, maybe graduation times and things like that. I don't know. I probably would say that like spring break time would probably be best because
I have to agree.
It's far enough away from graduation time to where people aren't thinking about that. And I don't have any graduating. I know I have friends that do. So in our grade,
everybody's starting up with school, and that's just chaotic
It is.
Yeah.
And you don't have the money. Just going to say
Right.
it. Everybody's
Because you've already taken
spending
your
all their money.
vacations for the summer.
Yep. We all getting broke, having to pay all the stuff to get back into school, or, you know, all of the extracurriculars. Or I'm just speaking for myself right now, I guess, because that's where I'm at.
Nope. Preach. But yeah, definitely April more and not May, because May is graduation times. And for me, I know my kids getting their first communion in May. So we've got family coming out to us for that month. And yeah.
Spring break is usually around March 19th. That's my birthday, so it's almost always been on spring break. I just happen to remember. So if you look up the 19th of March on the calendar, that's generally like where the college spring breaks up here in Arkansas are, and probably some of the kids too. That's when it always was when we were kids.
All right, let me.
I'm gonna have to leave because my other meeting is gonna be starting here shortly. So I'm gonna have to cut out. Y'all have a good night. Let me know whatever y'all finish up with.
Thank you, Miss Karen.
Bye, Karen.
Bye-bye.
Y'all have a good night.
Bye, Karen.
Bye.
So I'm gonna put this out there real quick, because since I've been staring at a calendar all day today for all three of my kids and like trying to coordinate stuff, and I have a new one in high school over at NOCA, so I'm just like, and that's a whole new, I don't even know what to say about all that. So I'm trying to familiarize myself with all these dates and calendars. And I just want to point out that Mardi Gras holiday is late this year. It is the first week of March. So that throws so spring break is going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar, and Easter is April 20th. So it's going to be around there.
Yeah.
There's
So
spring break.
Yep.
And-
It's a
and
month
one more-
past your birthday.
What, Rob?
Hold on, I'm pulling. I got my calendar popped up. I'm just looking for the dates. So just remember too, the week of February. So Mardi Gras is on. Hold on, I just lost everything.
March 4th.
Yep, there you go. March 4th. And just remember, from February 3rd through February 9th, it might be hard for people to get rooms if they gotta find hotels, because February 9th is the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. Yep.
And it's in New Orleans. And I know
Yeah.
most of the hotels in the city, and even down here, the 3 hotels in Chalmette, a lot of that's booked up because they're having Super Bowl events in St. Bernard this year.
Really?
Because they pressed for space in New Orleans.
Oh,
So
wow.
they already have pre-scheduled Super Bowl events in St. Bernard Parish. So, and
So
Super
not
Bowl's
February.
so Super Bowl's February 9th. So you could pretty much guarantee February 2nd through February 9th is going to be all Super Bowl events.
Oh, okay. All right. I think this Jazz Fest thing can work, because Jazz Fest is April 24th through May 4th. And so part of that is when, I don't know if everybody's on spring. I don't know everybody's spring break, but the one that I see on my calendar, which is, I guess it goes with the New Orleans school system, is that week. So that would be what, April 20th through, that probably would be the best week to do it. Because you also have Jazz Fest coinciding at the same time, which usually doesn't ever happen. We usually have
Right.
spring break early, and then
Right.
Jazz Fest feels like it's weeks away.
Well, that's all good information.
So it sounds like Jazz Fest, like we originally were feeling, is probably the best idea.
It could be because
Yes.
I just think from February 2nd to March 4th, that whole month is going to be rough getting hotels in and around the city.
So if we are gonna choose a date, around Jazz Fest. It's better to get that date out sooner than later so that people can book their hotels if they need.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Oh yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess
That's gonna be a busy time in the city too. Yeah.
That's
not as busy as a Super
It's
Bowl,
not.
I bet.
So
Yeah.
So I still work up in the city part time. So Jazz Fest is typically busy with hotels, but it's not going to compare to the Super Bowl, Mardi
right.
Gras mixture.
Right.
Awesome.
No.
Yep.
Great.
Well, and
Being
then
and then I think what helps out too, for the people that has to go the hotel route, St. Bernard's got a couple options now. They're not just stuck with the hotel on Parish Road. We got 3 hotels now.
Ooh.
and
So we're moving on. We're moving on up.
a lot of Airbnbs as well. So, how would you all suggest us going about confirming a date if we're all on board and we're just a small percentage of the 300 people who are communicating in the Facebook group? Anybody have any ideas on that?
Did I just miss the doodle poll on the Facebook page? Is that or was that something outside of what's doodle?
There's got to be a better way to communicate with people because not everybody, like I never hardly ever go on Facebook. So if that's the only way we're communicating, you're going to miss a bunch of people.
Well, that's why I was suggesting an email update.
Yeah, I think maybe an email update. But look, I'm not opposed to email update, Facebook. Like the more communications, the better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, definitely double tag it. Use
Okay.
email, use invite, and put all the same information on the Facebook page.
Right.
What do you guys think about? So we have a Facebook page. I don't know. Add in an Instagram page that can be hooked up to the Facebook page. So if you post one place, it'll automatically post in the other place in case some people are on
That's
Instagram.
not a bad idea.
Because I know some people that has Instagram and don't have Facebook.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm the admin of the Facebook group. Allison, does that mean you want to step up and be the admin of the IG?
Well, if you do, like if you, it would be smartest if you had both, so they hook together. So you're only posting one and it posts in the other.
You link them, and it does both of them.
Yeah, so that anytime you post in Facebook or in Instagram, it automatically posts to Facebook. And I don't know if it goes the other way.
I get that. What I'm asking is the admin, like it's a whole nother time commitment to be the admin of another social platform. Like I can set it up to where we can have cross posting, keeping up with the comments.
You talking about like if keeping up if people start texting on that one.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, comments and messages and all that.
Well, and then if I do an email, that's a whole nother time commitment.
How would you do that? Is there a way to streamline this stuff? I'm an entrepreneur and I'm like, I still don't know because I've been out of business for three years and I'm just getting back into my photography. So I'm like,
so I'll run a couple of different social media accounts for a couple businesses and organizations.
Go wrong.
But just one of the things. So it's just another thing on my plate that I'm crazy for. But anyway, I'll link them all together, and like I constantly get dings between the 4 or 5 different things. But I get where you're coming from. Where if you're just focusing on Facebook, you're not gonna catch the other ones. Like I'll help you however I can on that aspect. But yeah, I think we do. I do. We definitely link them, and I think we ought to just create a and whoever's the admin for any of them, it doesn't matter to me. And a generic email address. That way, it's not being flooded into your account. We have Andrew Jackson class of 92 to 97 or whatever it is at Gmail or whatever we decide. I don't care.
Yeah, that Miss Sunshine, I had to mute you because there was a lot of background noise. I hear you on that. So what I'll do, I like the Gmail idea, and what you can do with Gmail is put several other people to receive the message, and whoever responds first is helpful.
The crawfish bowl is here.
Hey, Ryan.
Nice.
Thanks, Kate, Daddy. Ryan has offered, he has a whole, if you don't know, he has a whole setup for seafood boils that it's going to be perfect for whatever venue we choose.
Is that your business, Ryan, or is that just kind of like a side hobby?
It's a side gig.
Nice.
But right now I kind of got it on hiatus, but I still have all the equipment. I do the boil for like parties, events, stuff like that, for, especially for the family and everything. But I got the whole setup. So tables, I mean, if that place you were talking about, April, the barn has tables and chairs there, the ACOC barn. But I have some tables and everything, not enough to sit 100 people. But I have, 2 boilers. I can boil 160 pounds of crawfish at a time, up to 12 sacks. And then I have to change out. But I mean, that would be enough for 3 pounds of crawfish for 100 people. And what I have, and then I'd have to change out, and then we could boil more. But I'm here. I'm willing to do it.
When does crawfish season usually wind down?
Crawfish season. That's actually perfect time for crawfish season. Yeah, so I mean, that's like good. That's peak crawfish season right there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I researched a little bit about that ACOC barn, and it seems perfect for this idea of if we are going to have like a family friendly function.
Daytime event.
I wonder if we could do, if we're going to consider doing, I never would have honestly dreamed that we would be doing more than one day for a reunion, but considering it's not just for 1 year and it's, spans years, I guess that makes more sense. But if we do it, maybe it's like a 1 day family daytime, and then on the same weekend, say one's like a Friday and then Friday night, and then one's a Sunday, or I don't know, but something like that, where we can do like a night thing and a day thing. I guess considering, what the cost is going to be as well, for doing more than one event,
Yes, and that is another reason why I think we should have a multi-event time period to allow for people who can afford it to go to multiple, and those who can't, at least they have other options. Like, just make it most available to the broadest spectrum of our audience. And that's why I think like cash bars and not bulk pricing, so that you can
fully agree.
If you're not drinking, you're not paying for that ticket.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's an interesting thing that there's been a shift, at least I've seen, at least in my world, a shift in it's such a thing we've all grown up with, and we've all been born into that whole social aspect of drinking and having fun and stuff. But I've seen a lot more of a shift of people for whatever reason shifting out of that, So yeah, I think it would be a great idea for it to not include alcohol with the cost so that people can do that at their own discretion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My liver's almost tapped out.
Time for a clip.
I really like the idea of a multi-day event because, like April Helen said, we just recently got back from the class of 94 30-year reunion, and it was just one evening event. And I flew all the way from Hawaii to see these people I hadn't seen in 30 years, and I didn't feel like just a few hours was enough to like really see and catch up with everybody. I barely caught up with half of them. And like she also said, we were in a really loud venue, so it was hard to talk to people. So I don't really feel like I got to connect with everyone like the way I would have liked to if we had had like a daytime, more quiet event where you could actually connect with people.
I agree with that. That last reunion was too packed up in that place. It was just you couldn't even move around.
Yeah.
That's why the ACOG barn. I was saying it's a wide open space. It's got fans. They have a lot of parking. It's a nice venue during the day. I go there. They have different events like community events there all the time. Whether it's the Domino Sugar doing an event there, or they have arts and crafts that they do a lot there. But it would be something that wouldn't be so confined that you're stuck in this little small place. That venue that we went to at Apres, I think that was the name of the place. It was just too small for that. Bringing all
for that amount of people. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So that place was always used as a fair area, but the ACOG barn was built after Katrina, so it's fairly new.
Yeah. And it has didn't you say all of the hookups, like if we needed to do the water transition for the crawfish boil, and it has everything you need, Ryan, right?
Yes, it has water hookups, it has bathrooms, it has drainage, it has
it's even has a splash pad.
Yes.
Splash pad. Hey.
And then they have they have the parking lot next to it, but they have plenty of parking within the neighborhood around that area. And they got a field right across the street that's also used for parking that they use when it overflows from the concrete parking area.
So that place has to be, I'm looking at it because the website they give is visitstbernard.com. It doesn't look like, I don't know if it has its own website or not. So it's an event venue, but it looks like it's something that's totally part of the parish. So it probably would be a very low cost booking or whatnot.
Yeah, I think you rent it through like the tourist commission or something like that.
That's what it looks like.
Mr. Ryan, sorry, Allison, what?
Oh, you're cool. It's good.
Do you have connections to that organizer for that place?
I don't personally, but I know my sister-in-law. She works with the parish a lot. Maybe she knows somebody. I can ask her. But the site I had sent you, it looked like it was just you call it has to be first to be able to book it. It's got to be open and available on the days we want, and then it looks like for my what I'm seeing on it didn't look like they didn't really give a cost. I guess we'd have to call and talk to them, but they had a security. It said $45 for every 4 hours for security. So I guess you have to have.
It's $40 per hour, and you have to reserve it for at least 4 hours.
Correct.
So it's going to be at least $160.
Right.
Oh, and they have all the lighting.
Yeah.
And everything.
Like
yeah,
they got fans under there.
They have a fan. They even have a stage area. So
that sounds like a really great option.
Winner.
What, Allison?
I said winner, winner.
Yeah,
Sounds like
winner.
a great option. I didn't
Awesome.
know it existed.
They have a
Well,
good they have a good bit of things up there.
someone also told me about a new place, Zeitgeist, a theater and lounge. Like if we wanted to have this story portal idea or a talent show. um that might be a
That's
good,
kind of a small venue.
it's a smaller one.
Yeah, it's kind of like a small venue, but they do have an outdoor community park next to it
Oh,
that you can also rent out.
Is that
do you
is that the Zygist?
Yeah, there's
like
I guess in that little community park with behind the fence next to it.
does Zeitgeist, or however you pronounce it, um or Saint Bernard Parish, who do you go
That's
to?
the Zygost is a private place. It's like
So the park would be through the parish.
I think the park's through the parish. I think I can check on that.
Well, that might be another
Either the
like
parish
in,
or through the it's either the parish or the Merrow Foundation.
oh, the Marrow. Okay. I'll write that down. Okay. Well, y'all,
I didn't see
I-
anything for the Miro Foundation, but I did see the old Araby Foundation, what association.
Yeah, that's like a civic group that does a lot of stuff for in our old Derby.
Okay. Anyway,
well, y'all, I love that you showed up and showed your interest. And for whomever is watching and is interested, contact me. I love respecting time. I know we all have busy lives, so we're coming up to the top of the hour. And so just to wrap it up, is there any last words? Maybe good cheer.
I'm just curious if you happened, April, Helen, to connect with anyone from like directly from the classes of 92 and 93.
I tagged them. Yeah, that is something we can definitely do. I love personal contact. I think it it really gets people more involved and committed. So if you, Miss January Marie, have personal connections and want to personally invite, that would be awesome. Or anybody on this call, or anybody watching this. Let's get an email newsletter going. Let's hook up IG and have a good flow of communication and get our peers updated as much as we can.
you have all of our emails from that doodle thing or whatever. You have a list.
I do.
Okay, cool. I have
I'll make a spread.
My sister was 94. Her little butt could have been on here. Well, what day is it? Yes, she could have been on.
94. Who's your sister, Allison?
Rochelle Boudery.
Oh, yeah. She should be on here.
I know. I didn't.
See if she'd be interested in kind of taking part in the planning.
She would. She's still in contact with she's still in contact with a good bit of people too, and that I see with her regularly. So we got some more that are, and there's a lot that I still have, contacts with that we could always add emails or I could just Facebook message them. I think that maybe if each of us, since I'm the only one here from 97, I don't know where Lana Seegers went to, but
right.
she's usually like she's always been one that gets a lot of stuff together. So I was very surprised I'm the only 97 one here at this moment, but I don't foresee that being it going forward. There's a whole crew of us. I wasn't necessarily one that was good with all the organization and being like, yeah, I'll do that, I'll show up. I kind of came in after, you know, a crew was already there. So, but there's a lot from, I know there's a lot from 97 that we're all still talking and hanging out and everything. But if we could, the reason why I'm saying that, if we could, I will, if I guess if we could, if you could get an email together with all the ones that actually voted for Doodle. I don't know how many that was, but it seems like there was a lot more.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something to start with, and send all of us an email, even though they weren't here today. And we can kind of like disperse, you know, kind of send in Facebook messages to people in our at least, you know, be like a representative for our year and have more than one, you know, so it's not all on one person if possible.
That'd be great.
Kind of
Yeah.
Facebook messages or text messages if we know people or whatever it is. And just to ask them if they're interested in doing it, or get email addresses, like to be able to get more email addresses, I guess would be the big goal, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, okay. Love you long time.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. All right, let's keep this going.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
I can already smell the crawfish.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.